Hi everybody, this is Nick here at Only Flaps. I've been playing so much chain that I've been burned out and I need to change my pace up. So what I did is I started brewing with an original idea I had prior to Monarch release, and that's Kassai. I already played some cards here, but mostly we always start on equipment, right? So if we're talking equipment, Tunic, maybe, maybe not. What I'm looking at is a combination of cards. Just to state also why I think it's useful to play this with Kassai and not with Baldwin. Your second sword only costs, or your second sword costs 0. So attacking twice with weapon, if you have to go again, should only set you back 1 resource. So pitching with 1 blue gives the situation where you can play Warrior's Father, maybe a stroke of foresight or an output blood to get that damage through, and actually have go again to swing a second time with your other weapon. And the interesting part about hit and run is that it gives your next swing also go again, but it buffs it then, and it's free and you don't need to have a reprise trigger or anything. So this is interesting, but you can always open with hit or run, especially the blue one, on your first weapon, and then at least have go again on your second swing and try to offload some weapon buffs or plow through or whatever on the second swing. So this is what I thought was interesting, but most interestingly is the fact that Nourish is such a good card in Warrior. And well, Kassai doesn't have specialization, but I think that we can all say that Cash In would be put to most use in Kassai. So actually, maybe that is her specialization. So we have these 2 cards that can give you 5-card explosive hands. If you have anything in Arsenal, it's going to be a hefty. And this put me on another synergy, which was in the deck, which I noticed when I was just drawing a couple of cards and goldfishing it, is that with this equipment set, the fact that Courage of the Blade Hole doesn't really require you to, the 1 resource reduction isn't that much, so you can maybe even mostly block for 3. If you're low in life total because you're using all your cards, the likelihood of this one blocking for 3 is also quite significant, and then this one also blocks for 3. And the value in Dynamo, if you can swing and the deck needs to have sufficient amount of go against, that's why I'm playing Rainbow Hit and Run and Rainbow Valor, also gives you the option to maybe even block for 4. At least each and every turn you can block with this one and a card from hand, making that dreadful block 4 actually feasible with your equipment and constantly. And this is something that piqued my interest. And then it's badass. I love the art of this game. So the interesting part is that swinging with a weapon, pitching for 3, and oh yeah, most likely this would have been better with a presentation, but man, do I love actually physically touching this card and actually being. I'm so excited. That's why I'm making this video. Of course, I also had some spare time laying around, but chain got me so burned out, and just brewing and having fun with having fun with touching your cards and putting them in different orders and just looking at the deck in total. It really got my blood pumping again, and I'm actually really excited to actually try this deck in an upcoming event. Not so much skirmish. I want to have a finely tuned deck for skirmishes, but some variation doesn't hurt the soul. So this combination, Warrior's Valor, Centauri Saber, and a buffing 1 will cost you 3 resources. But then the second Centauri Sim can be buffed by a hit and run, and it will cost you 0 to attack and only 0 to play this hit and run, which actually buffs your next attack, which can bring in that dreadful 9 dominate nourishing emptiness. These are some cool synergies that was which I noticed when I was playing the deck. And for this reason I also put in a second swing. I think it will be better to play 2 in Lightning Strike, just because of all these go against. Maybe you have hit and run, weapon swing, only pitch 3, and then in the Lightning Strike from Arsenal, put 1 card on the bottom, and E-Strike for 7, splitting out that damage as a whole. But second swing, I don't know, it just looks really cool, and it's also your next attack. The same goes for Out for Blood. It buffs your next attack. Not a weapon attack, it buffs your next attack, which can bring in a really scary nourishing emptiness. And this is also what makes me fond of the deck, is this combination of nourishing emptiness and cash in. Just being able to have a 5 card draw, maybe 6 with the card in Arsenal, allows for crazy amounts of pressure. And card draw is really scarce in this game, and it's for good reason, because you have your resources and cards to play when you have additional cards. So the difference between a 5 card hand and a 4 card hand, or even 3 card hand, it's just significant, to say the least. So I've recorded this video multiple times because of some issues with OBS. So I'm now a bit lost what I did say and what I didn't say. But yeah, with brewing I followed a simple rule, and that's the one from a friend of mine, from Jonathan. He's been playing Dorinthia exclusively now for, I think, 7 months. All the time he's been playing this game, he's been playing Dorinthia. Call that dedication. But for that reason, I've had a standard framework which I could build upon. That's 22 red cards, 6 yellow cards, and 12 blue cards. Because I also wanted to work with all the go-against that are solid in my eyes, that is the Valor and the Hit and Run, because of the multi-purposes of the Hit and Run, and cash in, my yellow slots were already filled in. And I think a lot of red cards in Dorinthia already shoe in, because there's been so much testing, and we know that it's good. Easily put a Spoils of War, that's good. Armsong Determination, yeah, that's a good card. Glint Quicksilver, that's a good card. And we also have more insight about what's good with regard to blue pitch cards. So that's also easy for me. And also Sharpen Steel, that's good. My point being is that the deck building didn't last that long. Why? Because I had a framework that I had in place. I've also tried to match cards that in total would have a cost of 3. So you don't want to have these awkward, powerful but awkward hands where you need 4 pitch, because that's 2 cards that you need to pitch at a minimum. You always want to work to cards or a setup of cards that only cost 3 resources, or you have something that can generate 1 resource continuously. But I don't have that one, and what I mostly wanted to try is what if I could keep all my cards in my hand, because I have this crazy amount of block value, which I can keep on blocking, which is for me the reason why I played the Centauri Sabers and the Dynamo in combination with the Kassai, because this one only costs you 1 resource. The Forms of Go again, you can play Rainbow, so like half the deck. Also Spoiled for and Glint 6 Quicksilver, which are excellent cards to say the least, and have been proven to be good. For this reason, the framework was easy to build. All the go against 25-30% of the deck is go again, so you can get those double swings in easily, which makes Fel and Dynamo good. You have a full fridge setup of blocking gear, so you don't need to have to worry about defense reactions that much, because you're mainly focused on blocking with your cards and putting pressure back on, blocking with your equipment, putting pressure back on with the cards from your hand. So, will it be any good? I don't know. I still have to give it a swing. Am I excited about it? Yes. Was it a cure for me and me being burned out by Chain? Absolutely. So if you're tired of a deck or tired of losing all the time with your pet Azalea deck, maybe it's time to switch it up. Try something else. I don't know if you should all try Ira or Dorinthia, or just make a budget version of something else. But trying something new at least helped me, because I'm really excited to try this one out. If I lose, I'll lose, but at least I've been finding new fun in the game. So if your fun is winning, which it was for me, maybe try and focus on something else and cracking the deck building puzzle and actually winning at that. And if you have a smooth deck, even though it doesn't perform as well as that you hoped, if it plays smoothly, then you've cracked one code, and that's deck building. Try to enjoy the game and don't get burned out too much. See you next time, kids.